Welcome to Learn from Travel's 360 Adventures. My name's Roman. Today I'm at Crandon Park just outside of Miami, Florida. It's a beautiful day, and my mission today is to find some manatees and to learn more about this amazing ecosystem. All right, I'm here with Ed Pritchard from Eco Adventures based here in Crandon Park. And we're gonna go on a kayak paddle right now into the Biscayne Bay. Hey Ed, so what kind of different marine ecosystems are there out here?
Yeah, so here at Crandon Park we have a variety of marine ecosystems. Today we're going to be seeing some of our seagrass beds right off of the beach here at Crandon Park, and those tie in with our coral reefs that sit just offshore, and our beach and dune and tropical hardwood hammock ecosystems that we find on the actual barrier island. When we get to the north end of the island, we'll start to see some of our mangrove ecosystem. So that's a variety of mangrove species, as well as some other marine life and species that we would find living amongst the mangroves.
Ed, so I'm on a mission to see manatees. What's my chance?
Your chances are pretty good. More so when we get over to the mangroves, it gets a little deeper there. They kind of like to hang out in that deeper water. Today we're kind of hitting, it also depends on the tides. Today we're hitting this right around slack tide, so it's not quite the highest tide of the day. So these areas that we're in right now get a little shallow for them. But our mangrove ecosystem, they love to hang out over there. There's some seagrass that kind of borders right along the mangroves.
All right, here we are swimming right past the plastic bag. Actually, it's a Portuguese man-of-war. Don't touch that. Is that gonna kill you, Ed?
So these Portuguese man-of-war are venomous. So if you look at the structure of this organism, it's actually called a siphonophore. A lot of people think these are jellyfish, but they're actually a collection of organisms that live together in symbiosis. So you'll see that there's that air sac on top, that balloon that helps them float along the ocean. And then below are the tentacles, and those are made up of organisms that are they're nematocysts, which is a type of stinging cell.
Ed, so I know that manatees like seagrass. Is this where we might see one?
Yeah, so you're right. So the manatees do feed on seagrass. We actually have two species of seagrass that make up our lush seagrass beds here off of Crandon Park. Turtle grass and manatee grass. So we've got that turtle grass, that thick blade, and then the thin blade is the manatee grass. And they grow interspersed, but sometimes you'll see them growing in patches.
Now we're getting close to the mangrove. We're in the middle of the mangrove now. Maybe we can find a manatee in here.
That would be a beached manatee. So another thing that I love about the mangroves and why they're so important is they act as a nursery for a lot of our marine life, especially our commercially important fish and a lot of our reef fish. They actually grow up amongst the mangroves here. These roots, in addition to acting as a buffer and stabilization of the shoreline, they almost act as like a crib for these small fish. They can hide amongst the mangrove roots and they can find protection from some of these larger larger predatory fish that are, you know, trying to get, you know, amongst these roots.
What the heck? That's the seagrass. I said, let's take a look at the seagrass.
So the black mangrove is the one that grows just beyond the red mangrove in that area that's a little bit more upland. And you'll notice those little projections out of the ground. They look like little fingers. Those are the roots that are popping up. That black mangrove is the one that's you know, kind of forked, and it has a different kind of bark than the red mangrove here. And again, those little projections, that's how they do gas exchange. So again, that's how they're breathing, basically, how they're taking in that carbon dioxide and then releasing oxygen. Here we have a giant hermit crab. That's a species of hermit crab that lives in the marine environment. And so these guys can grow pretty large. As you can tell, he's in one of our queen conch shells. So we saw those queen conchs below the surface earlier. When those snails die or they get predated upon and the shells are left over, these giant hermit crabs will come along and colonize them. Horizon getting kind of cloudy.
We're paddling right along the edge of the seagrass with the sand on the right, seagrass on the left. Well, we didn't see manatees today, but we did see their home, and it's definitely a beautiful place and worth conserving. Looks like we got back just in time before the rain. So I'll be signing off, and thanks for joining us for this 360 adventure with Learn from Travel.